It's playtime again, and it's me, Kathy. The last time I was at the Mediterranean Mart, I bought myself some phyllo dough, and it's been in my freezer for quite a while. But we're going to use that today because when I buy flat leaf spinach from Misfits Market, if I don't use it all in the recipe that I'm making that day, I chop it up and blanch it and put it in the freezer. So I have a bunch in the freezer, not enough to make this recipe. So today, this recipe is going to be a spanakopita with artichokes. So it's an artichoke and spinach pie, and it's going to be real fun. And let's go. The first thing we're going to do is take our spinach. Like I say, it's blanched and chopped, and it has been frozen, so therefore it's extra wet. And we are going to put it on a clean kitchen cloth. And squeeze out as much of the juice as we can. And it's going to be a lot. Here it comes. Our spinach is all squeezed out, and here are chopped up petite artichoke hearts, the ones I had left over from, whatever I made with artichoke hearts recently. And because they come in a great big jar, so that's why I buy them, so I can always have a nice bunch of artichokes on hand. We're going to mix them together. Looks like it's going to be mostly artichoke pie, but it's going to be good no matter what. We're going to begin our filling with a little bit of olive oil in a skillet over medium heat. And when that gets bubbly, I didn't mean bubbly, I meant shimmery. And now we're going to add in about half of a large onion. Pardon my arm. And a bunch of sliced up green onions. We're going to season these with some salt and pepper. And a wee bit of nutmeg. And we're going to sweat those down until they're soft. And then we're going to set them aside to cool. And while our onions are softening, we are going to roll out our filling. And when our sheets are laid out, what we're going to do next is cover them with some plastic wrap. Then we're going to put over top, to keep them moist, a wet towel. And because the towel that I used to squeeze out the spinach was already wet, that's what I'm using. And that's going to keep them pliable and work. Our onions and scallions are nicely softening up. So now it's time to add in some garlic. 2-3 cloves chopped. And we're going to let that cook for another 1 or 2 minutes till that gets nice and fragrant. Our onions, green and white, and garlic are softened and fragrant, and I've turned off the heat, and now it's time to add in our spinach and artichoke mixture. And we're going to let that totally cool down. These cool artichokes and spinach will help that cool down faster. We're going to mix it all together. And we're going to continue with our filling. We're going to start the rest of our filling with a couple of beaten eggs, to which we are going to add some feta cheese, sorry, that was ricotta. Now comes the feta. Duh. And that's going in. And we're going to season that up with some salt and pepper. Cover doesn't want to come off. Not too much salt because it's feta. Feta is salty. And I want to add a little bit of oregano to this as well. And because I like it this way, I want to add a little bit of lemon zest. And we're going to blend this together real well. Here's our spinach and garlic and onion and artichoke mixture, to which we are going to add in our ricotta and feta and egg mixture. And we're going to blend that well. Blend it up nicely. It's smelling great. And you got to make sure that the spinach mixture is very well cooled so it doesn't cook the eggs that are in with the cheese. And now we're going to build our layers and bake our spanakopita with artichokes. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to spread this baking dish with some butter up the sides, around the bottom. Our first sheet ripped in half, so we're going to start with that half and put that in. Now we're gonna peel off the other half. It's kind of rippy. Okay, here's our first sheet pieced together like a puzzle. We're gonna brush that with some more butter. Get up there. You get up there too. Up, up. Sheet number 2 is in, and again, pieced together like a puzzle. And we're gonna brush that with some butter. And we're going in for a third. This one I put in this direction instead of this direction like the other ones, because we're going to roll these sides in to make a top of our pie. And more butter brushing. By the way, while you're building these layers, you want to keep your wet cloth on top to keep them from drying out, because they dry out in about 3 minutes. Okay, this is number 4, and that is going to be the bottom crust of our spinach pie, spinach and artichoke pie. And more butter. Looks like I gotta melt some more. And now it's time to fill our phyllo crust with our mixture. And spread it around nice and evenly, edge to edge, side to side, top to bottom, nice and even. The filling is in, and now what we're gonna do is roll in these edges gently, because they're not completely covered with butter, so we're going to butter them up again. But we're going to pull them in as far as we can. We're going to top this with some more, so it doesn't have to be totally covered. Oh, feel those crispy edges, woohoo! Okay, I'm going to brush this with some butter, and then we're going to continue. All right, brushing that. Because when this dough bakes, it's going to kind of come together. It's not going to look so like ripped shredded paper like it does now. Our first top sheet is on, and that one came out pretty not broken. And butter, butter, butter. And here's top sheet number 2. Apparently, the further in you get into this package, the better these things peel off. So that's good to know. And we're gonna go two more, and then we're gonna bake it up. Okay, this is our final layer, and we're gonna butter it up. Okay, we are a buttery mess. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll in these edge crusts to make a crust. These overhanging edges. And then once that's done, we're gonna butter that up too. And then we're gonna bake our spinach and artichoke pie. We're just gonna get our rolled up edges buttered up. And then we're going in 350 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. And let's see how she comes out. Our spinach and artichoke pie is out of the oven, 30 minutes, and it's browned and crispy and even on the sides. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yep, so it looks done and done. And we're gonna give it a little bit of a rest, and then we're gonna slice it up and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, we've sliced into it. That's what it looks like whole. That's what it looks like on the inside. And it tastes so. And here we are on our pretty little plate. That's 2 pieces because the bottom half fell off of one of the pieces because I cut it when it was too hot. But there's what we look like on the inside. There's a nice close-up of our spinach filling. It's getting a little blurry because of that. But that is our spinach and artichoke pie. Thank you for joining me while I played with my leftover spinach and the other stuff that I had in my fridge. This is our spanakopita with artichokes, or our artichoke and spinach pie, and that's going to be a delicious dinner tonight. And Thank you for joining me again, and we'll see you soon.